God is good, and each day that passes brings us a day closer to Pantheon Rise of the Fallen launching and us getting in the game and playing it. Until then though, here at this channel, at the NAPALM, we want to talk about different aspects of the game, what's coming, new information that we know about the game, discuss it, break it apart, and figure it out, okay? If you're interested in Pantheon Rise of the Fallen and you like to hear about it, you like to discuss and figure things out and all that kind of thing, then please consider subscribing. Moving on, what I want to talk about today is loot. And I know we've already covered this, and I know we've already talked about it, and we've talked mainly about there being more to the game than just loot. You know, discovery, exploration, the cooperative group play and camaraderie with other players, etc. But at the same time, we love our loot. We wouldn't be playing this genre, I don't believe, if we didn't love getting some fat loot. So I want to talk a little bit about how the loot is going to work as far as what we know at the time of this recording. So, recently, MMORPG did a great interview with Brad McQuaid and Chris Perkins, developers at Visionary Realms, and they talked about a various amount of topics. As a matter of fact, I'm going to be doing a video about different things they talked about and breaking it down and theorizing on it a lot. But today I want to talk about when they started talking about items, itemization, how it's distributed, and a couple of ways to get it with examples. Before I start talking about it, let me play the clip that I'm referring to from the interview, and then we'll discuss it.
And so itemization is it's really important, and especially in a game like this, where we're wanting to recapture that sense of items having that real iconic presence and kind of mystique about them. So when you hear that someone got it's an item that just went into the game. So again, for our pre-alpha testers, the Descendant's Blade just went into the game, and that blade is available only in one place. And when you acquire a Descendant's Blade, you're going to know, oh, that drops from, I'm not going to say, spoil it, but that drops from this person in this place. And if I want one, I'm going to go there to get that item. So that's kind of the bread and butter of itemization, is you've got these very identifiable.
They're going to last a while too, right, Chris? There's none of this. You get this really cool blade, and then one level later it's useless, and you replace it with something else. We want that iconic epic feel, right? Where you really take pride in the item, where you got it, the context in which you received it.
Mm-hmm. So we can get a lot of information from that short little clip there. Number one, first thing worth taking away from that is that the loot, because this is more of an open world shared experience, okay, and we're going to be camping a lot generally while leveling up. So we're going to be finding areas that we're going to be looking for a group to go and XP with. During that point, there will be certain locations we can go to where certain items drop, okay? This information will quickly become available on websites, and therefore it will be well known within the game within a reasonably quick amount of time. So people will know, like, hey, we're going to camp here and we're going to be fighting in this area, we're looking for my buddy to get this staff or this robe or whatever. Now, we may be there. This isn't a game where, okay, just because we're here and we kill this mob right here means we're guaranteed to get this. No, that's not how it's going to work. It's going to be based on RNG, I guess you could say, but you're going to have to farm. You're going to have to, be patient and hope you get it, because getting the item is a big deal in this game. It's not expected that you'll definitely get it. You're going to have to put in the time, you're going to have to put in the dedication, and you're going to have to farm the right mob or mobs or the right area to get it. So that is fun to me. That's what makes getting an item, piece of equipment or what have you, that's what makes it awesome, is because you went out of your way, you made sure that you went to the place to get it, you waited it out, you camped it, you continued to grind your way until you got it. And once you got it, it's a big deal. Now you have this legendary, drop, which most people won't have, okay? Because A, they'll be farming other areas, or B, they didn't know it was there, or C, they didn't have the time to dedicate, or a group willing to dedicate time with them to try to get this drop. So it just makes the items more valuable, personally more valuable to you, the player, and also to the economy, and everything else. I mean, it's a very beautiful thing. It's very different than just while you're leveling up and you're just randomly doing these quests and you're getting rewards left and right and your armor's changing every 5 seconds, every level, all your old gear, you've got new ones coming, sometimes getting replaced before you even level up. It's just crazy. This is more of a, when you get it, you got it, and it's going to last a while. That would be the second point I got from that clip, is that it's not like it's just, once you got it, you're going to be using it for probably a really long time. Okay, this, as people that came from EverQuest know, you might get a drop mid-level, right? Something really awesome. A lot of times in EverQuest, I know you get a drop you didn't even know about, right? Like nothing you even had heard of. A lot of times, that's another subject, but when you got it, you would have that forever, man. You would have that, and you would be so proud of it. Like, yeah, I remember when I got this, I was hanging out with this person, that person, and we got the drop, and it was awesome, and, everything. So that is an experience all itself, and it's something that people who are coming only from a newer MMORPG space, they don't know about that. This is going to be new to them, and it's going to be refreshing and awesome and nostalgic and just a better system overall for loot for the older players as well. So I just love it. It's exactly when the early days of Pantheon, as they've been talking about it. I mean, I've already knew this was pretty much how it was going to work. It's very refreshing to see that there's dedication, though, from the development team to make sure that this is how it works. Okay, now moving on, though, I do want to talk about another aspect as far as itemization, getting drops, I guess you could say, equipment and everything, and how it's going to work in a really cool, unique feature. I know there's, as is mentioned in this clip I'm about to play, ESO has a similar, but I believe with the open world, with the group play, with the challenging gameplay that Pantheon's going to offer, and everything, it's very different than ESO, and plus the gear is very different than the way it works in ESO to begin with. But anyway, let's hear about this new feature from the same clip from MMORPG's interview with Chris Perkins and Brad McQuaid.
The discoverable items is kind of a new thing. I don't know that we've even talked about that much, Brad. I don't think we've mentioned that a whole lot externally.
Let's do it.
I'm not going to say a whole lot about it, but through perception, yes. Through one of the harvesting skills that Corey and Tim, two of our game designers, have been working on. There are going to, and that harvesting skill is called Scavenging, which should give you an idea of what that could be like. But there is going to be opportunity through those things, those two systems, to actually discover items in the world as well. So you might, be coming up on an orc camp, you break into the orc camp, you kind of take everything out, and then you just rummage through their stuff and find, mundane items. You might find more rare items, and there's always that chance, very, very minute chance, not that you're going to find, the flaming sword of sovereignty, but you might find something that is relatively valuable and relatively rare, and tuning that opportunity is something we're going to pay close attention to. But it's married to these very relevant, meaningful systems, and we talk about that all the time. The world needs to feel believable. It needs to feel like you're living in it, and the experiences that you have as you take on that orc camp and clear it out and then rummage through their stuff and find that item. That's not something that's just being mailed to you by the developers. It's not something that, you know, you're getting when you've, you know, reached 100 points in achievement and this and that thing. It's you in the world actually paying attention and exploring and being rewarded for that. So I'm really excited about the itemization. I'm excited for the classic spirit of it, but I'm also excited about this new little edge. Not new in the sense that, you know, I know ESO does some things like that, but we want to approach it in a more shared way where it's you know, part of that, again, that open world. It's not like everyone's looting something and they have instanced versions of the loot. It's actually you may get there and it's already been rifled through and you got to come back a little bit later, kind of thing. So really excited about that.
Hey, listen, guys, if that doesn't get you excited, then there's just nothing anybody can do anymore to excite you, because the scavenging, that sounds awesome, man. I don't care about gathering and really usually don't care about crafting. That's just not my thing, right? So, you know, if I'm gonna try to get something cool, I'm gonna figure out a way to go out and get it in the game through adventuring or battle. I don't really want to sit in a spot and craft or run around the world gathering materials. I get it. Lots of people love it. I respect it. I personally, I don't want to do it. That feels like work to me. Whereas for some reason, going out and grinding the same mob over and over and over does not feel like work to me. So maybe I'm the weirdo. But anyway, scavenging's different though. Okay, this is actually integrating the adventure or battle aspect of Pantheon Rise of the Fallen into a gathering thing, right? Like the exact example he gave of going into an orc camp and then, you know, wiping them out and then, you know, rummaging through their stuff. That's cool. You know, that's the kind of thing I would not expect in an MMORPG. You know, it's more something I would expect. Well, in an instanced situation, I could see that, you know, being normal as it is in ESO. So, you know, it's not like my mind's blown like this has never been done before, but it hasn't ever been done like this in an open, shared world where I'm actually going to this orc camp and actually rummaging through their things, which may have already been rummaged through, right? Like, the stuff may already be gone. Some other player may have just came right before me and already done that, right? So then I get nothing. So I think that's very exciting. Now, like you said, you're not going to find like some super rare drop, right? But you're going to, from my understanding of what they were just talking about in that clip, you can find things, right? Like you can find armor pieces, etc. Now, we know that epic, crazy, you know, high stats and things attached to the equipment are going to be rare, okay? This isn't the kind of game where they just hand you loot over and over and over again. So, you know, as you're leveling up or you know, you have your basic, I guess you could say, if you're level type gear on, you could definitely probably make a living in game as far as scavenging and selling some of the stuff that you find that you don't need, you know, or you know, the stuff that you can use. You can probably be upgrades a lot of the times, right? Because you're probably in an area where it's high level mobs, so probably their gear would be something on par with what they are. So I love it. I think it's very cool, very exciting. Every time I dig at all into the Pantheon world as far as interviews or anything, I come out completely even more excited about Pantheon than I started with. And that's why this project is so awesome to me. I'm very passionate about this game, about what Visionary Realms is doing, about Brad McQuaid's vision, about everything. I just cannot wait until we get to see it come alive, okay, as in launch day, as in getting to play the game, dive in with you guys, and see what we can do, what kind of fun things we can turn up in this world, this shared experience, the dungeon crawling, all that. I cannot wait. I will be making another video very soon about a lot of other things. If you want to check out that particular interview, though, I will have a link in the description below. So definitely check it out. It's really cool, and I'm going to be discussing and breaking down many other things from the interview. That was a fantastic interview. So I highly recommend give MMORPG a little love because they did a great interview. And Brad McQuaid and Chris Perkins really opened up in this interview. I feel like they just kind of I feel like there's somebody in PR like, hey guys, like we weren't ready to talk about that yet. Like, you know, we had a specific time, you know, that's what it feels like. It feels like maybe they talked a little more than they were supposed to. Probably not, but that's just definitely the way it felt, which is awesome for us who are just, you know, begging for more information. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. As I said earlier, if you enjoyed the video, or if you want to hear more about Pantheon Rise of the Fallen, please check me out. Check out some of my other videos. Please consider subscribing. And guys, we're almost at 1,000 subscribers. I can't believe it. I will have something very special for that event when it happens. We're very close. So, guys, just want to thank you, the community, everybody who comes out and checks out my videos, that watch them and comment on them, and we have discussions together. You bring up things I didn't think of. You talk about things I hadn't thought of. You bring up good points. You correct me when I'm wrong. All that good stuff. I really appreciate it, and thank you so much for coming checking out my stuff. Plenty more to come. Alright guys, thank you so much, and God bless, and happy gaming.